Welcome back to another edition of Drop the Mitts Hockey Podcast. And today we've got a great, for all you Bruins fans out there, I know you're going to be excited about this one. Boston Bruins third round pick from last year, Quinnipiac commit, and most recently forward for the Sioux Falls Stampede, Chris Pelosi. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Obviously, you're coming off a great year. Off season's here. What kind of things are you doing this off season, man? As far as like things off the ice, away from hockey.
Yeah, pretty much just golfing. I've been out on the course a few times here and there, but no, I've been in the gym a lot. Skating as well, and all my buddies are there with me, so it's been a great off season so far.
Are you back in Jersey?
Yeah.
What are some of the nice courses out there?
Actually, this course that just got redone, the whole course, it's called Pinelands.
Okay.
It's actually really nice. Yeah, and they got discounts every Wednesday, so.
Oh, dude, can't beat that. How's the golf game looking so far?
I actually played yesterday. I didn't do too bad, so
There you
it's
go.
going pretty good.
Dude, I played this past weekend and I'm already like ready to take some time off. It was
Yeah,
brutal, but
I've been there.
um man, jumping into obviously the season, you had a great year. You had a huge jump as far as, point production, 36 more points than you had last year. What do you think was the biggest reason for this jump in pretty much all your numbers? It was, goals, assists, plus minus. You obviously played in a few more games. But what do you think was the biggest reason for that jump in all those numbers in your production?
Mhm.
And what areas of your game do you think you improved the most in?
Yeah, so I think, going from, my rookie season to my second season, biggest thing was probably my confidence, rose a lot. From the summer, I just worked hard and I had set myself some goals, and I was able to reach them with the confidence I brought back to my second season. And the guys there helped me out a lot. We had a great team. We made playoffs. Fell a little short, but I felt like it was a great season for us. And um, yeah, so I think my skating got a lot better over the summer. I tried to work on that a lot, and just like my decisions that I made with the puck. Um, the guys I skate with back at home, they're all really good.
Yeah.
They're all D1 players. We got some junior guys and, some pro guys. And, they come to the rink every day with the intention to help everyone get better, not just themselves. And, yeah, so it was a great summer.
Yeah, so you mentioned last summer, your rookie year, was skating one of the big things that you really were trying to hone in and focus on? And then were there any other areas, your decision making you mentioned, but was skating kind of the biggest thing that you were, really focusing on?
Yeah, as a bigger guy, taller guy, skating kind of has to be there a lot. You got the
Yeah.
long strides to help you out a little bit, but your form's got to be there to get, you know, your maximum amount of power and speed. So I skated with a guy over summer, and he helped me out a lot, and I just kind of remembered everything throughout the season, and it helped me, bring out my goals a lot. So.
Yeah. You just mentioned a guy, Beckett Hendrickson. Obviously, he went literally the next round after you, man. Fourth round pick last year. Man, what's your relationship like with Beckett? Because obviously, man, you guys made some highlight reel, plays this season. It seemed like every other day I was seeing a highlight of you two, tic tac toe passes. Man, what's your relationship like, chemistry wise, on and off the ice with Beckett?
Mhm. Yeah, we're super close already. We met last year at main camp in Sioux Falls, um, and we kind of just clicked right away. He's an outgoing kid, so he can really make friends with anyone. But everyone loved him. He's a great guy, and even better player on the ice. So he's a great he's a great pickup for the Bruins, and I can't wait to hopefully play with him again someday.
Yeah, as far as like his game and your game, like how do you think you guys kind of feed off each other in your specific like ways you guys play and how do you guys kind of I said feed off each other? Like what makes you guys so special as, line mates?
Yeah, I guess we're both kind of just two-way forwards. We play all three zones on the ice, and we're always in the battles together. So, we kind of complement each other, and he has that great vision and passing abilities with as well as scoring abilities that we can both use to our advantage. So it was great playing with him.
Yeah, and so did you have any contact with him like after the draft or anything? Like, was he one of the first ones that you kind of talked to? So obviously he was the fourth rounder right after you.
Yeah.
But did you have any contact with him like prior to that?
Um, a little bit because I think he found out like right before the draft he was coming to Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
So he texted me like, "Yo, can't wait to be on your team," stuff like that. But right after the draft, he texted me, and I didn't know him that well yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, we were just kind of
That's
texting.
crazy how that works out.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
like, but man, like, so next year, you're gonna be back in this area. Obviously, you committed to Quinnipiac, what was it last year or 2 years ago? Um,
It was when the first year 05s were allowed to
yeah.
play.
Yeah, and obviously that's going to be the start of your college career. You'll be going into your freshman year. What are your expectations for going into the year for yourself? And like, obviously, you don't want to set them too high. I mean, Quinnipiac's losing a lot of good players, man, to the pros. Colin Graff, Sam Lipkin, Jacob Quillen, three legends in Quinnipiac, right? Like, what are your expectations going into your first year?
Yeah, obviously Rand's a great coach. He
Yeah,
works everyone hard, and that's kind of been his coaching style ever since he started out at Quinnipiac. So I'm excited to get with him, and their strength guy there, Brajesh, they call him Coach B, I think, and
yeah.
they're just their whole philosophy is just work hard and grind. So that's pretty much been my game, pretty much my whole life. So I can't wait to get started, and I think I'll fit in just well.
Now, when you were kind of going through schools and whatnot, like what specifically about Quinnipiac was it that kind of drew you to the school? Was it Coach Pecknold? Was it like other things as far as school goes? Like what was it specifically that drew you to Quinnipiac?
Yeah, Coach Pecknold, he definitely had a huge part. I played against his son ever
Yeah,
since I was probably like 10 years old. So he's always been watching me and stuff. And I've talked to him here and there beforehand, just to meet him and stuff. And um, just the way he presents himself really goes a long way. He's very nice. He's a good guy. He's confident. So that definitely helped make my decision a little easier. And then obviously Quinnipiac's a great school, great academics, and it's not too big of a school. And I'm not that guy to like, be. You can't find me in a huge crowd of people. So yeah, I think it's a perfect fit for me.
so you're telling me none of the Boston schools were for you?
Um, it would have been nice, yeah, but no, I think Quinnipiac's great.
I feel you, man. Man, and going through the process, you mentioned, you like the smaller school, the obviously Coach Pecknold. Were there any other schools that you like seriously considered before ultimately making your decision? Or was
Uh,
it, or was it Quinnipiac as soon as you kind of got there, you were in love with the school?
I think it was a little bit of both. Quinnipiac was pretty much always my top choice. Um, they're always a great team. Obviously, the way I play fits the way they play and stuff like that. But no, there's definitely other schools in there. Obviously Penn State, a little closer to home, but it's a bigger
Yeah.
school. So,
Yeah.
and then all the other schools that all the young guys want to go to when they first start finding out about college hockey. So.
Yeah, man, and we just talked about Coach Pecknold. You'll be playing for him next year. A lot of the viewers see his on ice success. They kind of just see him behind the bench. They see how he interacts with the media. But you being a player, is the way he coaches. What makes him so special, and what makes players like you want to play for him.
Mhm.
Because again, for the people that don't really know him personally, they just see him on the bench and they see how he interacts with the media. But from your perspective, like what makes him such a appealing coach to play for?
Yeah, probably a huge part of it is that he interacts with his guys. He gets feedback from them, and he's not afraid to take some constructive criticism. And yeah, he's not really like a guy to go out for practice, coach them, and then go home for the day. He'll sit around, hang out with the guys, get to know everyone individually, and help them out whatever they need. So he's a great guy.
Yeah, I mean everything you hear from other players. We've had guys like Sam Lipkin, on the pod too, and said the same thing, just a consummate professional, but
Mhm.
also like emotionally invested in the players as well, which I would imagine, a lot easier to play for a guy like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, man, you're from New Jersey. You choose Quinnipiac. Um, Man, like, what was it like growing up in, playing hockey in New Jersey? Obviously, it's a little bit different than, you got certain areas, Mass, Philadelphia, you got some good hockey. What was it like growing up playing, in Jersey?
It was actually pretty easy. There's a rink 10 minutes from my house that I started there ever since I was 4 years old. So we kind of had this group of like this core group of like five guys that would I've known them ever since I started out. So we kind of just like went up together, and eventually we got all these great guys from everywhere around New Jersey and other states too. And we eventually built this super good team that helped us with where we're at today.
Did you do a lot of traveling? Like, I saw that you played for the Philly Hockey Club. Um, did you guys do a ton of traveling around, or did you stay pretty local to like that New Jersey like metro area?
We did a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
We were on the road pretty much every weekend, and we hosted a tournament or two at our home rink. But our coach loved traveling and going out there and being the underdog. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, so we did a lot of traveling, and it was super fun. Hotels with the guys there's nothing better. So
Dude, the mini hockey tournaments, yeah, dude, there's nothing like it.
yep.
Man, I want to talk about your experience on draft day. I mean, I remember I was sitting here, literally watched the pick. It was obviously the Bruins' first pick, so we're fired up about it. Um, you're picked in the third round, 92nd overall. I mentioned it was the Bruins' first pick of the draft. Man, talk to us about that whole day, the experience leading up to it, and then what it was like ultimately, when it was all said and done, getting that phone call from the Bees.
Yeah. So I woke up like any normal day. I was going to the rink, working out, skating, and when I got home, I forgot the draft was on, to be honest. And my brother reminded me. He was sitting on the couch, and we just threw it on. I just started eating breakfast, and uh, literally the next pick was me. So had to throw that breakfast away, and
Oh
everyone
shit.
started calling me. So I mean,
Yeah.
it was great. Yeah, it was great.
Did you get a call from like Sweeney, or like how did that work?
Yeah. So I got a call from actually my agent called me first to let me know that the Bruins picked me, and then eventually they had like 4 or 5 guys call me, and then kind of just give me like a bunch of information about like when's camp starting, and then congratulate me and all that stuff.
So leading up to the draft, were there any teams? I mean, third rounders, extremely high draft pick. Like, did you have an inkling that Boston was a team that was a possibility, or were there other teams that you kind of felt good about that you seriously thought you'd be going to?
Yeah, there's a few teams like Arizona. What's another one? But I mean, Boston was up there. Yeah, I had a few Zoom calls with them and stuff. So um, I had a feeling it was between them two, and hopefully maybe another team. But I don't know. I just loved Boston. Once again, I kind of fit into their playing style. Tough. Going to the battles hard and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I mean, even now, man, you watch this team, like that's exactly what this team needs. I feel like
Mhm.
right about now. Obviously you got some time to go, but it you guys, it just seems like the way they play the game and the way you play the game, it's a perfect fit.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Um, yeah, man. So we actually met last year at development camp. Your first year there was my first time there. It was such a cool experience. Um, from that week, man, like what were your biggest takeaways? As far as like on ice things, you kind of learn that you need to focus on, and then to caveat off that, like off the ice stuff that you kind of realized. A lot of the guys that I talked to, like nutrition's a huge thing that they kind of learn about. Like, what were your biggest takeaways from that week?
Yeah, definitely nutrition's one, and I guess just how big of a step it actually is. It doesn't look like that big of a step from juniors to college to the NHL, but it's a lot bigger than it looks. And uh, skating with all those older guys that are in college already, or about to sign a professional deal, it's super cool. You can learn anything from them, from skating to uh, obviously their thinking and all that stuff. So and how serious they take everything.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a professional ice hockey team. They're going to take everything serious, but with Boston, they're on track of everything. They're 100% in everything. They don't take anything lightly. So hopefully be there in a few years. So
Yeah, man. And honestly, what I remember most is you had some pretty good battles. And obviously, like you're a bigger boy. We talked about that earlier in the show. Were there any guys that you kind of had some battles with that you were like, holy shit, like this is the next level, like this is it?
yeah, that one guy, he actually got drafted this last year as well. That I forget where he's
Was it
from.
Kostadinsky?
Oh my god, yeah, he's
I was
massive.
gonna say, man, he was a fucking mammoth. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was trying to go down the wall on him. I think he just like clotheslined me this one time. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
big, strong. So, and I think he's the same age as I am. So,
yeah, dude. Because I like we had interviewed like Riley Duran after that, like Trevor Kunsar. I think he was there. But yeah, he was. I was gonna say because I exactly remember him, dude. He just was like, the skating was. I mean, again, he's a young kid. You brought up earlier that skating something that you've wanted to work on. And I think I remember them. You've had a couple great battles that week, man. I was like, holy shit, this is gonna be. I'm excited to see you play at Quinnipiac for sure, bro.
yeah, for sure.
Um, but man, so what was I think it was this past weekend you had the alumni game at Mount St. Charles.
Yep.
And obviously I went back and looked at some of your numbers and some tape and whatnot. Um, how was the kind of coming back and seeing all the boys from the team and as far as Mount St. Charles itself, what did they do for your development, both on the ice stuff and then as a person too?
Yeah, it was great there. I loved my 2 years there. They did everything right. It was only, I think my first year there was Mount's second time having a hockey team there, and
Yeah.
they still did a great job. Everything's a lot better now with all the donations and money that they got. They're making a lot of improvements and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And my brother's actually there right now. He'll be there. He was there this year, and he'll be there next year. And yeah, they played a huge part in my development. And so we had this trainer down there, Mike Macchione. I think he used to be the Bruins strength guy for a little
Yeah,
while.
I was gonna say it sounds familiar. Definitely sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was there. He did a great job, getting us in shape, and stuff like that. And then we had this guy come out and skate with us. We just do a lot of skill stuff and kind of get out of our shell with our edges and like jumping over things and whatnot. It was super
Yeah.
tough, but it definitely helped a lot. And all the coaches there, they're just really professional. They're great guys. They help everyone, and you can really talk to anyone there and not have a problem.
Yeah, dude, I was looking like year by year. I mean, they've gotten like crazy good every single year. And funny enough, man, I was looking at Rocco's numbers and it said he had like 170 points. Is that real or did he put that on there?
No, it's definitely real.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say, I was like, holy shit, him and Scuderi.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that is that Rob's kid?
No, no.
No relation.
I don't think they're related now.
I was
But
gonna say, dude, between those two, I'm like, holy crap, did they put these numbers in there? And I'm like, that's crazy for that level of hockey is
yeah, they grew
insane.
up together, so they've been super close for a while.
Yeah, dude, I was like, holy shit. But man, going back, we talked about you being from, Jersey, you playing 14 U at for Philly Hockey Club. Who would you credit most for kind of getting you into the game of hockey and being the one to kind of help you find your passion and find your love? And then to kind of caveat off that, at what point did you kind of realize you had a legitimate chance to play high level hockey? Was there a certain year that kind of you just took your game to the next level and kind of started to take it more seriously?
Yeah, obviously it started off one of my old coaches, Tom Bunning. He's kind of been there for me, through everything ever since I was, I don't know, 8 years old, all the way up till 14 years old. He's been there. I'm actually best friends with his son, Ryan, and so we're super close. And he kind of just worked me all the way up until 14, and I can't thank him enough because he kind of just put that motor in me. He kind of, gave me that mindset of, don't give up, just keep going.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine and all that stuff. And um, that's the main reason why our team was so successful with him as our coach. He didn't take anything lightly. We're bagging every practice. We'll have practice with 0 pucks.
Oh, those are
Everyone
the
hated
best.
it, but like it all, it was all for a reason, and it worked out well. And what was your second question? Sorry.
No, so was there a certain year or was there a certain point where kind of, you're playing these games? Was there a certain point that you kind of realized that you had a legitimate chance to A, play in the USHL, B, eventually play Division 1 hockey? Like, was there a certain year, a certain point in a certain season that you realized you had a chance?
Yeah. So obviously, Johnny Goudreau, he also grew up, sort of near the same. He played at the same rink I did, the same high school as well. And when I found out his story, his dad was coaching my brother. He actually coached me for a little bit as well. He kind of, explained everything to me like this certain way, and I was like, oh my god, this can actually go somewhere. And then he
Yeah.
was he was telling me like I legitimately have a chance, and if I just keep putting in the work and everything, it'll eventually come to me. So um, that was probably around 12 years old, and I was just kind of put my head down, just kept working out, skating, and just not giving up from there. And I fell in love with hockey as soon as I started
Yeah.
playing. So I was on the ice almost every day. Tried out other sports, absolutely hated them, and uh, hockey's just kind of always been my thing. So it's
Yeah.
been great.
Yeah, man, you've had some good players grow up in that area. You
Yeah.
just mentioned Johnny Goudreau. We're growing up, like, who was your team? Who was your favorite player growing up? Obviously there's a couple teams around that area that you could have rooted for, but who was your team, man?
I like the Flyers. Uh,
Okay.
they've kind of always been my team, and then eventually, some people hate me for saying it, but Tampa Bay was also up there. But they were just good. So
Yeah, I
every
mean,
every young kid's got to like one good team, right?
yeah, well, the thing is, man, they're still good. It's crazy this
Yeah,
run that
yeah,
they've had during this whole Stamkos era.
yeah,
And man, just thinking about the fact that he could be in a different uniform next year is crazy to think about because I remember when he got drafted to Tampa.
yeah, yeah.
Um, in talking about guys in the NHL, whether past or present, are there any guys, it doesn't matter if they're playing now, if they're retired, there any guys currently playing that you kind of emulate your game after, or not emulate your game, but kind of see a little bit of yourself in?
Yeah, definitely. Patrice Bergeron.
That's a pretty
Berge's,
good
yeah, he's just that two-way, 200-foot player, and he great captain, great guy off the ice. Presents himself really well, and I kind of used to watch a bunch of videos on him when I was younger, and I was just like, I want to be like this guy. Everyone likes him. There wasn't a single soul that hated him, and yeah, I just hope to be like him one day.
when you got drafted, did he reach out at all, or was it like
No,
because I was gonna
no,
say, man, that'd be
I wish I
wild.
would be sick. Yeah,
Yeah. Man, we talked about Rocco earlier. Obviously, your younger brother, also an incredibly gifted player himself. Um, we talked about he's at Mount St. Charles currently. Man, talk to us about your relationship with your younger brother and kind of the bond you have with hockey, and what it was like growing up with him.
yeah. No, it was great. He's 4 years younger than me, so it took a little bit for me to start liking him, I guess you could
Yeah.
say, because the annoying little younger
Yeah,
brother.
man. I get it. I got a younger brother too, 4 years younger as well, and I get it, man.
Yeah, yeah, but no, we've been super close forever, and he's just great. He's kind of just been following behind me, my whole life, and learning stuff from me, and I've been learning a lot from him as well. His work ethic is unbelievable. He's humble. He's a great guy to talk to. So he's super mature for his age now too. So it's good for his future, and hopefully I'd love to see him go far.
Yeah, man. Hey, you can be honest with us. Who usually came away victorious in the mini hockey and street hockey battles?
Definitely me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, we won't tell him, man. We won't tell him. But honestly, man, we can't thank you enough. We're coming up on 25 minutes. It was great talking to you. This kind of has been it had been in the works for a little bit, so I greatly appreciate taking the time. I can't wait to see you at Quinnipiac. It's not too far from where we're at in Mass. And yeah, man, can't wait to see you play, and best of luck to you going forward.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, thank you. You too.
Take care. Bye.